Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now we have just seen a new warning signal for Bitcoin here in the shorter term. But just before we get into that, let's take a quick look at the 4-hour Bitcoin charts. First of all, just giving you a quick recap, especially for the new viewers on the channel. Around 3 days ago, we were looking somewhat bullish in the shorter term after seeing this bullish divergence. But then only just yesterday, if you watched my last Bitcoin update video, at the start of that video, I talked about how that bullish divergence is wearing off, with the Bitcoin RSI trending to the downside in the shorter term and the Bitcoin MACD starting to trend back to the downside if you're looking at the histogram. And obviously, not long after we looked at some of these short-term bearish signals, the Bitcoin price saw a short-term drop from this area on the chart where I recorded yesterday's Bitcoin update video down towards 42,000 at the time of recording this video. And not only that, but we're currently playing out that short-term bearish scenario that I've been talking about over the past 2 days. And that has been the Bitcoin price oscillators on the 12-hour time frame flipping somewhat bearish here. As you can see in the RSI, for example, we've already formed lower highs. We talked about that yesterday, but one of the more short-term bearish scenarios that I discussed is if the Bitcoin RSI falls into a lower low, which as of right now, the Bitcoin RSI is sitting in a lower low compared to this low just here. But I want to make it clear that the input data for the RSI is candle closes. So because of that, we need to see a 12-hour candle close with the RSI in a lower low to actually confirm that lower low. And the next 12-hour candle close for Bitcoin is in around 9 hours from now at the time of recording this video. Now, if the Bitcoin price stays above this previous low, which is coming in at around 41,500, then technically we could have a hidden bullish divergence, which is where we see higher lows in the price, but lower lows in the RSI. But keep in mind, a hidden bullish divergence is weaker than a normal bullish divergence. And so because of that, I would not be holding too much weight to that hidden bullish divergence, even if we do end up forming one. And in my experience, if we see a downtrend in the price oscillators, so for example in the RSI, then more often than not, that also translates to a downtrend in a similar time frame in the Bitcoin price. Not only that, but looking in the 12-hour MACD, the histogram is still sitting in the red, and looking at the 12-hour parabolic stop and reverse indicator, this is also just flipping into the red right now. But keep in mind, all of this is still talking about the somewhat shorter term. For example, the last time we saw the parabolic stop and reverse indicator flip into the red on this time frame was right back here around a week ago, and then we just simply played out a few more days worth of bearish price action before seeing a little bit more bullish price action in the shorter term. But these are all just things on the chart that we need to be aware of, because obviously if I'm going to be telling you about some bullish signs on the chart like what I was back here, then I have to tell you about bearish signs on the chart like what we're seeing right now in the shorter term. Now looking at the daily time frame for Bitcoin, bringing out the linear Fibonacci levels, one important level of support is this previous 23.6% Fibonacci level coming in at approximately 41,500. So that is obviously an important level for Bitcoin to hold, but if we do end up falling below 41,500, then I'll be focusing on 39,500, because that is where we found some short-term support right here, and that is also where we bottomed out during the September correction. And if we do end up holding above around 40,000 give or take, then it is still possible we could play out this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame. But realistically speaking, for this to play out, we cannot spend too much time around these prices. So ideally, I'd like to see the Bitcoin price back up towards 45,000 approximately within the next few days or so. Otherwise, if we hang around at these lower $40,000 prices for anything longer than a few days up to maybe a week, then it would be safe to say that this Bitcoin inverse head and shoulders pattern would be invalidated. But what is very interesting is even while we're seeing this short-term pullback, we are still seeing the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on the Bybit exchange decrease. Now, this isn't really a signal for the shorter term. It's looking at the much bigger picture, at the larger trend at play. For example, during the month of October last year, we saw the percentage of Bitcoin shorts on the Bybit exchange decrease, and that was even leading into the second half of November 2021. And if you're looking at the price action during that time period, that was basically a bullish trend, but we still saw some short-term bearish price action. And more of an extreme example of this happening was the end of 2020 leading into the beginning of 2021. We obviously saw a major downtrend in the Bitcoin short positions, and during that same time period, we saw a major uptrend in the Bitcoin price, but once again, we saw a lot of short-term bearish price action along the way. And speaking about the bigger picture here on the 4-day time frame, even after seeing this short-term pullback, as of right now at least, the 4-day chart hasn't really changed that much, especially if you're looking in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. This is still sitting in the green. And if you're simply looking at all of these other times where this indicator on this time frame has flipped into the green, more often than not, that has resulted in a bullish trend on the larger time frames in the Bitcoin price. Also on the 3-day time frame, something that I've been talking about for a couple months now, is the giant bullish divergence between the 3-day MACD and only just recently the bullish cross in the 3-day MACD. And if you're looking at the last time that happened, that was during July 2021, and obviously you could see what came next. We also saw a small bullish cross in the 3-day MACD during the beginning of October 2021, and once again you can see what came next in the Bitcoin price. And combined with this, we still have an active breakout to the upside in the 3-day RSI for Bitcoin, and normally this results in a bullish trend in the Bitcoin price that lasts for at least a few weeks and up to a few months in length. So to completely summarize this video, basically in the shorter term, we are looking somewhat bearish and we could see some more short-term bearish price action. That is totally possible. But if you're looking at what's happening in the big picture on the larger timeframes, things are technically still looking bullish here. And so at least as of right now, this bearish price action is still only in the shorter term. If you found this video useful or simply enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important updates that I post every single day. And before you click off, if you want to make more money in the crypto market, whether or not prices are going up or down, these videos popping up right here are definitely for you. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.